Hello, welcome to the channel The Dry Omas, the Three Grandmothers. I'm your host, Carmen. I want you to remember there are subtitles of this video. And as I promised, let's analyze the symbolism behind this video of Lady Gaga 9/11. It is related to the old conflict between the eagle and the snake. I want to make a big disclaimer, huge disclaimer. This is my entire interpretation. This is my entire comments. Nowhere is mentioned what I'm going to talk about, and no author has written what I'm going to tell you. These are entirely my deductions based of my studies and analysis. I'm a conspiracy girl and I study logic and symbolism since a long time ago. And I'm trying to put the puzzle together, taking the small crumbs that we know from our history and trying to put together. As I always says, there are two meanings for the initiated in lodges and for the simple mortals. For sure, the real history is well known in some groups, power groups, but we work with what we have. Am I right? Am I wrong? Who can say that? Our true history is captured in front of our eyes. We just have to take a look with another perspective. This video is telling the story of the woman who disobeyed, the story of the Eve and the snake is not what we have been told. It's about a mixing of races. It's about a new race. We have spoken about the first alien races that arrived to this planet, but nobody talks about the following mixing of the races and the result of what we are today. The first alien races are very, very different of what we are today. But we are like family. We are like cousins because we have part of the same genetic. But we are what we are today because of this woman. Thank you, Grandma. Venus, Aphrodite, Margot was the latest goddess in this world. We don't know how much, how long did she live or how she died. We have only some crumbs of what happened. So, in what time of period is this story that the video is telling us? I guess it's after the Durga Puja war. Because if you can see a lion, it means it was an alliance with some races with the goddess in order to defeat the bull. The race of the snake, there are several ethnic group. They are not the same. They are not o- look like everyone, like we are, like we humans. They are completely different. There is a lot of diversity, and even between them, they have a lot of conflicts. So they made an alliance to defeat one group. So the iconography and symbolism used in this video is the same used in the old movie of 1969, The Color of Pomegranates. And this movie is telling us a story. And the symbol is used in the original movie. It's also very interesting, but it's a different story. So both movies are telling a story, but they are using the same symbolism. What lodges or symbols are shown in this video? We can see here the dogs, the patos, the pan. The translation is bread, but it sounds silly. So let's say pan. The staircase, they are everywhere. The flower. There are flowers with 4, 5, 8 petals. This is with 11. Even the royalty, they are hierarchy. So 11 petals mean highest hierarchy. We have the bulls, the crosses, and the water. It's interesting because it means they have a bulb, and it's now what is the fishes. The movie starts with the pomegranates. That's the original symbol of the eagle. The symbol of the eagle came later. At the beginning, it was a pomegranate. So it means that Margot goes to the land of Pa. Can you see this golden disc? In a lot of cultures, is the cult to the sun, and they have a golden disc at the entrance, the land of the serpent. Something happened. I'm not very sure of what conflict is this, but for sure it was between a conflict between the dogs, the patos, and the pan, and they regret about that because someone died, someone important died. And then there there is a scene that is a direct allusion to the old movie The War is a Window, Panjara. Panjara has a lot of meaning depending the culture, but they all agree on the meaning of cage. If you are royalty, you have benefits, but you have also many responsibilities and a great burden of leading your people. They all agree that sometimes royalty can be overwhelming. There is another kind of problems that we don't know, like a normal people. The, the race of the fishes is complaining about something, and she raised her ring. I'm the authority here. And indeed, in this video, they are singing, I have heard enough about these voices, almost like I have no choice. That's the case. You are royalty, and you are overwhelming with these all responsibilities. In both movies, they talk about the death of someone. Nowadays, the color that is used for the funerals is black, but in the past and in some cultures, remains purple as the color of mourning. I can't stop thinking about the reference to this race, the high necks. Even today, some cultures maintain the old practices to look like the god. And then they point to another group, like saying they are the bosses. Talk to them. The bull and the crosses. An agreement was made and they will put order. Like saying, okay, calm down. What was this pact? What was this pact? Here are some symbols again: the staircase, the water, the pan, the fishes. Whatever they are about to do is not allowed. Why? Because this sin represents putting the authority to sleep. That is what it means. That they are going to do something that is not allowed. Why would this goddess of love do something like that? I think she believed that this will put an end to the old conflict. She was very sweet, but also very naive. Disobedience, what is she doing? She's mixing the races. And that is how the human race was created. They have the technology of what today for us is cloning or hybridation. Hybrid. She made it. Believing maybe that it will stop the conflict. And it's important to see here. Do you see this bell behind? Bells were important in the past for the land of the sun worships. And she was flying away, like saying, okay, my job here is done. But the betrayal, surprise, surprise, you go nowhere, lady. And take a look to the color of the dress. This is green, and now it's red. It means that they wanted to immerse her in their culture. They wanted that she learned their traditions and that she learns the culture of the snake. Can you see this necklace? That's the symbol of the bull. But it was not the previously bull. This was a new prince. That is why this is after the Durga Puja conflict. And yeah, that was the idea that she learns the war of the snake, the war of the serpent. And a new alliance was proposed, a wedding. She married the snake. Can you see the peacock here? That's a symbol of royalty, the union of the houses. And what can you see here? The staircase again. They have been here since the beginning of the times. So, the the marriage of the snake and pomegranate. The prophecy. There are people they have the gift of clairvoyance. So this lady has this gift. She can see some glimpse of future, and this paint is showing a future, what will happen. So it's like a shaman. And this is an aspi snake. In modern language means trader. If you traduce these actions, means the trader will sting the heart. I think this lady was like a shaman and she saw something. The ring with the three crosses. That is the symbol of the snake. You can see it in a lot of symbols as well, the three crosses. And she has a seven. She has a crown of seven. Means she became the queen of the seven wars. These races accept her as their queen. The dogs, the pen, the fishes, the cross, the bulls. And it is very interesting because in the background is black, like the world is in darkness. But then we see a transition to light. She brings the light. She is the first queen of a new world, of a new race, of a hybrid race. Unfortunately, nothing is forever. A lot of time passed. She lived longer, many years. Compared to other races, she saw so many dead. Apparently, not all the universe agree with what she did. This symbol in Egypt, in hieroglyphics, means death descends. It's present in many tombs, and that's the symbol that is reflected here. It means that she lived longer and she saw many deaths, many died. She's suffering, living an eternity. Uh, Immortality is a curse. In this part of the video, she's singing, "Please patch the line." She can't take anymore. How do you kill a goat? They live longer, their body regenerate, another genetic. They are immortals. You use a defibrillator like today. You create an electroshock that will make the heart to stop for a few seconds. And in this moment, you will be able to stop it, the heart. She requests to die. So the prophecy was fulfilled. The snake will sting the heart. Our grandmother, we are here because of her, and it's a pity that her memories, her legacy was completely erased, forgotten. But this scene gives us a little of hope. Some religions are waiting for the return of the Messiahs, the second temple of Solomon. Why couldn't the queen come back? And the name that they put in the video is very interesting as well. They call her Stephanie. In modern language means it belongs to the land of Pa. It means that the snake is bringing her back. I hope so. I would like to see the return of the queen. I think this world belongs to her. And this is a reference to the vision that the shaman saw and not to the future. And here you can see the clue. That is why, with this clue, you understand that this was the symbolism that was used for this movie. So, this is what happened. But forever the queen. Thank you, grandmother. You created the race of what we are today. So, thank you. In the next episode, let's talk about our grandmother Maria. Very interesting story as well. Until next time, bye bye.